Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Editor of the Daily Oz, Emma Gillespie, is here. Hello, Emma.
Well, hello. A sad one to talk about today. The world is mourning the loss of former One Direction bandmate Liam Payne, the 31-year-old singer who was found dead last week outside a Buenos Aires hotel. He fell from a third-floor balcony. His father, Jeff, has arrived there this morning or overnight to arrange the repatriation of his son's body, and Liam will be taken back to the UK. Such a sad story, but a really developing one. Lots of details emerging in the days since. We've heard an emergency phone call that's been leaked, a member of the hotel staff that reached out to the authorities and described an intoxicated guest. He was apparently breaking everything in his room. And this hotel staffer said that, we're scared that he might harm himself. His room has a balcony and the likes, etc. A little bit of background on One Direction, even though, Jonesy, I know you're all over it because 1D is your favourite band in the world. Which famously is your fave band. They formed in 2010 on the set of The X Factor in Britain. The X Factor, which was created by Simon Cowell. He has spoken out about the band, its success and the loss of Liam. He's devastated, says he's heartbroken. All of the band members, including Harry Styles, have all made statements on their Instagram talking about Payne's talent, the joy that he brought, the way that he made other people happy. Zayn Malik's one of the former bandmates. He's postponed his US tour. X Factor Britain have actually delayed their next auditions for their forthcoming season. So a lot of sort of showbiz disruptions there. But I wanted to talk a bit about the kind of media fallout surrounding a bit of the reporting of this death. Cheryl Cole, you might know her as a Girls Aloud singer, or Cheryl Tweedy. She was with Liam Payne a few years ago and they've got a child together, a son, Bear, who's now 7 years old. She put a statement out on Instagram and said she was really troubled by the reports and the media exploitation that we'd seen in recent days, that, one day her son would have access to that information. She said, "I'm begging you to consider what the use of some of these reports are serving, other than to cause further harm to everyone left behind. Before you leave comments or make videos, ask yourself if you would like your own child or family to read them." Now, I don't know if you guys have been across this, but TMZ posted these really graphic images and videos after Liam Payne died. There was a video circulating of his fall. There were close-up images of his body on the ground outside the hotel.
Was the fall accurate? Because I heard that wasn't real.
Well,
who would know? Who would know?
Well, who would know exactly? Apparently it was real, but I think the idea that you could be just a kid scrolling on TikTok and suddenly you see a video of a pop star you've idolised your whole life dying. It's really,
and
really
the way
dark.
social media turned on him, because he was at the concert supporting Nigel Horan, was it?
Niall,
Niall,
not
Nigel.
Ago,
And so, but everyone's saying, "Oh, look at him, he's making it all about him because he's dancing along." And then after his death, everyone's going, "Oh, that's so sweet." It's the internet is a nut fest.
Yeah, we'd seen.
But not just that. I was just going to say, there's been some fallout too for Simon Cowell. People saying that this guy sat back. He said apparently recently in an interview his only regret was that he didn't register or own the band name One Direction. He manipulated, this is the inference, he's worked them, made them tour, etc., etc. But where is the backup mental health for these young men?
Yeah, this is really interesting because a big music industry name has come out and said that under 18-year-olds should not be allowed to join pop bands. This guy called Guy Chambers, he's a songwriter and friend of Robbie Williams. He's written some of Robbie Williams' biggest hits. He has called on the industry to hold back from working with talent underage. So Liam Payne was 16 when he auditioned for the season of The X Factor when One
Well, he was
Direction
actually
formed.
14 when he first went on it.
Yeah, he first auditioned at age 14, and that's when Simon Cowell told him, "You're really talented, but it's not the right time. Please come back." And he did come back, and, that fateful audition, and, the music industry in the world was never the same. But I thought this idea was really interesting. We kind of are talking so much more and more about young people's access to social media and what the modern world does to young developing brains. And I hadn't really thought about it that way, but we know child fame can screw up so many people.
That's right. And football clubs now are looking at the mental health of their young players and a short-lived career and how you help someone sustain themselves through the big fame and the big money. But we absolutely need to do it with young performers too.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting, Guy Chambers, that Robbie Williams mate, he said, it has been a long time since the band was formed, but he doesn't see that much has changed in the industry and not much more real care being taken to look after the kids involved in these big talent shows.
But look at the Beatles. They were the same. They're all kids.
Yeah.
And they all hung around John Lennon. And when you really look at the Beatles, he was like 19. George Harrison was 14. So this 14-year-old hanging around with this 19-year-old.
But social media has just blown it all up to another level. The level of fame and visibility, even lots of videos of Liam Payne in the lead up to his death, is so distressing. You can tell he wasn't well. Anyway, very, very sad, and millions of people sort of connecting around the world over their grief. So
that's it. Well, Amanda's put a floral tribute in the studio here.
Thank you, Amanda.
Well, it's
actually it's my chewing gum. Sorry,
it's a chewing gum and a keep cup, but nonetheless.
In the words of One Direction, Amanda, that's what makes you beautiful.
That is what.
Thank you, Emma.
Thank you, Em. Check her out at the Daily Oz.